right, so you're enjoying your Google Maps, you're enjoying your Outlook email, you're enjoying just playing games on your computer with your kernel level anti-cheat, probably playing a game of League of Legends. What you don't know on the back end of all that is that the anti-cheat is scanning all your files and trying to see what you have on your computer and probably sending it to somewhere like China. Your Windows operating system is taking all of your data, everything to do with it, and shipping it off to their servers to see what you like for their advertisers. And at the same time, Google Maps on your phone is essentially double checking to see what you're doing every 5 seconds. And even if you disable Google, no matter what, it's still going to listen to you. So recently inside of a post, I was pretty shocked. It was on Reddit. It was under r/Microslop. Someone lost their 25-year-old Microsoft account. If we take a look here, it was July 14th. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late to things, even though I did record a video about this earlier. User loses 25 years of data after a Microsoft account hack with no way back. Now, typically when you hear something like this, you're thinking that a lot of the folks, or the folk who had issues, Joshua Kane, probably went through a lot of loopholes and tried to do a lot of crazy things, and it was just ridiculous. But no, it actually gets quite ridiculous. You see, this man who's a streamer said that Microsoft permanently suspended his account after it was compromised. It resulted in cutting access to 25 years of stored data along with his OneDrive files, including what he described as son's baby photos. All of this happened, however, after his account was hacked into, with the attacker changing all of the information. And so he went to Microsoft. He asked them for help to try and get his account back like any normal human decent being would do. But what he got, as far as a response, was quite different than one he expected. Greetings, Joshua. I'm just going to jump through the little nitbits. Yes, we've noticed that your account has been compromised. During the investigation, it was discovered that was the case. We're unable to modify or restore the security settings once they've been updated, just so you know that. But to prevent further misuse, we've permanently suspended the account. Now, the action's irreversible, and we've ensured that your data remains protected. If you use this account for Minecraft, though, you'll probably just have to buy the account again. I'm kidding. You're going to have to. A new purchase will be required on a newly created account, and we understand this might be disappointing, and sincere apologies for the inconvenience. By the way, if you have files stored in OneDrive, those aren't accessible either due to the encryption and privacy standards. Even our engineers can't retrieve them. So while the outcome may not be ideal, it's necessary to ensure your personal data does not fall into the wrong hands. But don't worry, your data is secure. So basically, the TLDR of it is, this man loses his 25-year-old or worth of data. He loses his baby photos, loses access to his $20,000 worth of game library, and yet Microsoft is going to keep his account safe, his information, but he's not going to give him the account. Now, typically what ends up happening here is usually you get the account back, but Microsoft in this case is going to be keeping the data. So you think, that's an L for Microsoft, right? Like, okay, so what? That's just one company. But it gets even worse than that, because Google disables accounts as well and denying appeal over nothing. So we can see here, unfortunately, your account access can't be restored. Our review found that your account was created or used with multiple other accounts that violates Google's policies. It appears the account may have been created by a computer program or bot. Now, that being said, whatever, potato, potato. I've also personally have tried to get into it. This user claims that he did no such thing, and that the only thing he can think of it was that he accessed it via VPNs or from a hardened browser. He did nothing out of the wrong. I've tried to claim my own Google account before in the past, the one that I had as a teenager, and I can't even access it myself. I spent over 2 years trying to contact Google support, and it was just to no avail. So if I can't do it and I did nothing wrong and the account's still there, I'm sure this guy is also having very similar issues, considering he gets a help channel. Now, as the top comment says here, this is a stark reminder and the lesson isn't bigger than Google. Any account you can't export or can't hold yourself is rented, and the landlord can evict you with no reason and no appeal. The VPN/hardened browser guess is probably right. Their automated systems read that as bot-like, and there's rarely a human in the loop to overturn it. Frustrating and not really fixable from your side. The practical move for the accounts you can drop, treat them as hostile infrastructure. Keep a running export of anything that would hurt to lose. Forward important mails to an address you control. Never let one of these be the only copy of anything. You clearly already think this way. This is just like saying to the last few things you can't cut. Ask yourself, which accounts would actually break something if they vanished overnight? Those are the ones to get a copy out first. Now, a lot of people have a lot of their information in the cloud. If, for example, you are an Apple user, you know this far too well because your phone has practically like 20 gigabytes, just enough to store the OS. And then Apple's like, hey guys, would you like our subscription for, let's say, 100 megabytes extra? You only have to pay it monthly. Oh, by the way, you paid for our $800 phone that only has a 5% increase in terms of performance this year? Great. Yeah, you can do it on top of it. We'll give you a month free. But anyways, these companies are creating problems, and then at the same time, they're also selling solutions. I was recently looking at a Kindle, or not a Kindle, but a Kindle-like piece of tech, and one of the problems is that it didn't illuminate any light. But if you literally go to the cart, it literally tells you, oh, you can get this attachable light for $9 extra. You already know that it's a problem with the light. Why don't you just make the piece of tech have a light built into it? But alas. So you think it's over. You think it's said and done, and unfortunately you're wrong, because apparently as of 8 hours ago, just lived through getting hacked and my 20+ year account locked. This is Microsoft, like once again, another user just 8 hours ago. I'm in rage and anger. I feel like I'm being victim blamed while the blank scum that do it just gets off free and keep doing it. I feel powerless. And then Microsoft just basically says, well, that's tough. I don't care. Mostly use my PC for gaming and browsing. Is Linux viable for gaming now? Now, for those who are interested in Linux and are looking into this, if you play super popular games, Rust, League of Legends, Fortnite, I think even Apex might be borderline questionable. If you play any really competitive game that is top of the line, you're not really going to be able to play it because these anti-cheats are just not built for it. They usually tend not to care. And when it comes to using anti-cheat, it's just a flick away in order to being able to have access to it. But the Linux amount of market share is so much lower than Microsoft. Even though Microsoft's market share is roughly, I think it was now 57%. It's the first time in history it's dropped below 60 or this low. It's still not enough. So these problems are continuously getting stronger and stronger and stronger until eventually you're just not going to have any privacy at all. You can see here, for example, that there's new phone requirements are possibly coming up where the policy update, effective in 45 days, all data, including your Android device backups, will begin counting towards your Google account storage limit. Photos and videos in Google Photos and MMS data already count towards your Google account storage today. With this change, all other back-end data, such as SMS messages, call history, device settings, and whatever else essentially will be part of their plan. So, with that, we are also introducing granular app backup toggles in your Android backup settings. If you're on their Android 9 or higher, you can select exactly what data types. Now, you think, oh, okay, let me just change my phone possibly from Samsung. Good luck. If you'll notice with your phone after you do some Googling, you can't change your phone over to Linux. Why? Because it's hard locked. There's no way around it. So what's to say soon enough that your computer or the technology behind it might soon enough become hard locked as well, to the point where you can't even change it from its current operating system and you're forced to use it. I mean, take for example, Apple. You can't really use any other operating system other than, well, Apple, realistically. The Mac, but I don't know. I've been looking through this for quite a while, and it just seems like this is a never-ending story, and soon enough, we're just going to lose all of our data one way or another. I was reading in a post on the news that these flock cameras, for example, are being placed everywhere and coming up in every spot, and people are trying to fight against it. And the moment they start fighting against it, like say, for example, in Austin, Texas, they go to their town hall, they say they don't want it, then the town hall representatives say, okay, we'll vote against it. And then next thing you know, nothing comes of it, nothing happens. So I don't know what's going to happen here, guys, but it seems like all roads are leading to you're losing more and more and more and more of your data. So what are your alternatives, right? Let's try not to turn this to be a little bit longer. What are your alternatives that you can do? Well, first thing you can do is you can go over to Linux, like I said previously. Your phone, for example, you can try out Graphene OS, you can try out Linux disto, or you can try to go for an older model. I mean, check out Nokia, right? The old phones, you know, the flip phones. Try something else like that. But you have to remember that security and freedom are a very, very linear path. If you want to have freedom, and you want to have security, it's really nice to be on this side, but then your easeability or ease of use is going to keep going further and further away. That's why Windows is so popular nowadays, because Windows is so easy to use. I mean, think about it. You show your grandma, you say, here, you type this, and you get a notepad pop up. You go to Linux, you practically have to go into the console in order to type for a notepad. Nowadays, it's getting easier, but I mean, come on, everyone who's used Nano understands this. So, nevertheless, I really hope that things start to improve, but right now with all the massive changes that's going on, especially in the UK with the VPN pushes and everything else, it doesn't seem like we're going to be seeing light anytime soon. So, I don't know. Thanks so much for watching, though. If you actually did manage to get through this, leave a like, leave a comment, dislike if you didn't like it, and I am out of here. Sorry, it's been like 12 days since my last video. Trying to change things. See ya.